So, Thor Adali asked, what do I think about Japan after 3 years? Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm here to share with you some things that I wish I knew before I came to Japan so you don't have to struggle. Number 1, taxis are expensive, and outside of Tokyo, there is no Uber. Uber is only for food. I hope you're ready to get cut at the gym because the free weights are not heavy enough. The first gym I went to, the free weights only went up to 30 kilograms, and that was definitely not enough for me. Also in the gyms, there are no locker rooms. There's just kind of like a changing room where you get changed in real quick, and there's no water fountain, no free water. You have to pay for water. Number 3, this goes out to all my medium-sized people out there. You are not tall or large. You will hit your head on something at some point. Handles in the train. I have hit my head on door frames. Also, if you're a decent sized guy like myself, these shoulders are a little too wide. I don't fit in seats. I take up about a seat and a half, so I get real comfortable with the people next to me. You're just big. You're big now. Deal with it. Moving is expensive. Even moving companies are more expensive. I remember in New York, I hired a moving company for, I think it was $250, maybe $300 USD. Here, you're gonna pay probably at least $1,000 for a moving company. The deposit, the guarantor fee you're going to have to pay, the key money, and an agency fee you're probably gonna have to pay your realtor. Be very careful when you move. Make sure you like your place because you're gonna be there for a while, or you're gonna pay to get out of it. There's a reason why we've been looking for so long. You get more mail from Nanking than you get text from your girlfriend. Health insurance, mail from your city office, you will receive spam mail. Everything is mailed. Be careful when you're picking movies at the movie theater and make sure you have subtitles. I one time forgot to pick subtitles and I got the fully dubbed version of Jurassic Park in Japanese, and my Japanese relating to dinosaurs and science stuff is not that great. Number 7, you will battle mold. It will attack your clothes. If you let it, it will ruin them. We did a video about battling mold. You can look at all the fun products that you can buy to help you in your fight against mold. Pro tip, just don't buy leather things, leather shoes, leather jackets. Mold loves it. Just leave it out. It'll make your life easier. Number 8, you will not find clothes in your size. I'm medium large in the US size, and in Japan I'm an extra large. Fun fact, most shops in Japan only stock large sizes. Extra large is not often stocked in Japan for whatever reason. It's on their website, but it's not going to be in the store. If you're going to bring any clothing items with you from your home country, bring shoes and pants, but I would not bring shirts because they're going to be too hot for the summertime, which leads me into point number 9. No matter what you do, no matter what countermeasures you take, unless you come from a place that is more humid than Japan, you will sweat in the summer. You will be asked to make a point card at every single store you go to. If you don't want to burn your house down and you're building a computer, buy the PC parts here in Japan. I had very bad luck with bringing PC parts over from America, and all of the things I brought over either broke on the way here or didn't like Japan's power grid and caught on fire. And if it does break, you can't throw it away because normally in Japan, you return the parts to the manufacturer or the store you bought it from, and you can't do that if you bought it in America. So I had a bag of computer parts that I had for about a year and a half because I could not throw them out. Number 12, all beers taste the same. I know, you go to the Konbini and every 3 months there's shiny new cans. There's a red one, there's a blue one. All of these tantalizing, tempting things to make you think it's some sort of new flavor. It's a lie. They all taste the same, no matter what. Change my mind. You will not find what you think of as staple foods at your local grocery store. Our local store didn't have tomato products like tomato paste, and don't you even come at me, those people who are living here or have lived here. The Kagome tomato paste is not the same. It's not the same. Tomato paste, pita bread, sometimes even peanut butter is difficult to find here. Pro tip for all the foodies, places that have helped me feel a little bit more at home here are places like Hanamasa, Kaldi, which everybody knows, and another place which is called Jupiter, which is very similar to Kaldi. Ordering things online is not cheap. Ordering on Amazon is at least the same price, if not more expensive, than going to the store and buying the exact same thing. A lot of places don't have local websites and there's no online information available. You have to go to Facebook. You can do things online, but I would advise you to start finding things in the store and finding places where you can get the things you like. 15, you will be visiting photo booths in a suit. You're going to have to take basically like driver's license size photos and paste them on any official application form, JLPT, visas, job applications. You're going to need those photos, and pro tip, save the photos because you can use them multiple times. If you haven't applied to a place with a photo, you can probably reuse an old photo. Save yourself, I don't know, 500-800 yen at the photo booth and another shop to the and another trip to the photo booth.
Another shop to the photo
Another
trip.
shop to the photo trip, yeah. Number 16, finding a job is hard. I did a video about a year ago. Still looking. So one of the things I would advise people is that right now speaking Japanese is not enough. There are already people here who are bilingual. It's not enough to get a job. You're not special. Sorry. You need a skill or experience. If you have a lot of experience and you speak Japanese, you're good. If you have a skill, like you're a lawyer, you know finance, are in IT, you can program, you know graphic design, those are skills that are needed in the market and will help you in your job search in addition to your Japanese knowledge. Get a work visa. Do it. It will make it much easier to transition to a new job. This is specific advice for anyone on a dependent or a student visa. If you're on a dependent visa, you're working part-time and you have a chance to make that part-time job a full-time visa, take the visa. It will make finding a job much easier going forward. 18, going to language school is not enough to pass the JLPT. I would suggest that if your goal is to pass the JLPT, start studying outside of language school for whatever level you want. If you're gonna take the N3, start studying for the N3 materials specifically. If you're going to take the N2, start studying outside for the N2 materials specifically. Language school is not enough to pass whatever JLPT level you're trying to pass. On a happy note, public transportation is great and you do not need a car. Even places in the middle of nowhere will have a train or at least a bus. Here's for all my animal lovers out there. Dogs do not go to the bathroom outside in Japan. They are trained to go to the bathroom inside. Be aware that people are going to stare at you if your dog goes to the bathroom outside because you're supposed to like hose it down with a bottle of water. Don't forget your doggy bag for your dog where you're going to carry your bottle of water. There are vets here, they're very nice. The vet appointment itself is fairly cheap compared to America, but the medicine is where they get you. The dog heartworm medicine is probably 2 to 3 times more expensive than it is in America. 6 months supply in America is what's $80, and a 6-month supply here is probably about $180, just to give you a general idea. Major phone carriers here are a ripoff. I would suggest using a service like Line Mobile. I think Yahoo Mobile, Sakura Mobile, there's all sorts of different phone carriers that are much cheaper than the major carriers. The only caveat with that is that you will have to buy your phone up front, but if you have your phone for more than 1 year, you will save money. Voicemail is not free. Voicemail is a paid service, and depending on which language you set your phone in, you may or may not be able to download Japanese apps. Your phone will most likely revert to an app store in America, in Europe, or wherever you're from, or whatever region your app store is from. And it will be very difficult to buy Japanese specific apps, banking apps for, banks like Yucho. You can only switch your app store once a year. So just keep that in mind when thinking about what you're gonna do with your phone. 22, get ready to use cash again and count those coins, baby. If you use the Yucho Bank, say goodbye to debit cards. Also, bank statements are very hard to get. They only go back about 6 months. There is some online banking, but it's very limited. The online banking statements for Yucho only go back for 1 single month. The only way to get statements for longer than 6 months is to fill out a form that they use to get statements for people who have died and they need bank statements from them for whatever reason. Loretta has specifically done this, so I do know what I'm talking about. Moral of the story, maybe don't use Yucho. 23, here's for all my American friends. Don't use Bank of America as your main bank in the US. They have a very specific multi-factor authentication which requires you to authenticate from a phone. I'm all for internet security, but Bank of America does not send text messages to phones outside of the US. You probably want to keep a debit card and a bank account in the US so you can make online purchases, but be careful with which bank you use and don't use Bank of America. So when you move to Japan, bring or mail everything that you want with you at that time. I had my desk mailed over about 6 months after I got here. It was a huge fiasco because apparently you're not supposed to mail yourself big items like that after you've already moved here. Unless you really like spending 3 hours in the customs office and answering all sorts of questions and filling out paperwork. Save yourself the hassle and do everything when you move here. Number 25, we made it. Let's end it on a high note. You can see Mount Fuji from almost anywhere. You can see it from Tokyo, from Yokohama. You're just gonna look up and be like, oh, hey, there's Fuji. If you like nature, if you like looking at mountains, you will see him everywhere. All you have to do is look. Okay, Thor Dally. So what do you think? It sounds like I'm roasting Japan, but honestly, I like living here. It's a good place to live. It's safe. Public transportation is fantastic. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it can help you avoid some problems and some headaches going forward. If you have any other questions for me, ask them in the comments and I will respond and let you guys know to the best of my ability. Thanks. Bye.
Hey, you can't boop it.
I booped it.